To a new video. I'm Carl here at Stacey Guitar Tuition. I'm really excited today because I'm filming this with a brand new camera. So let's figure all that out and let's have a good time with that. I'm about to find out when I finish filming this video, but it's all good. Today we're going to talk about 5 things that I think that I have been playing guitar for 20 years, alright? So I've experienced a lot of stuff, mentally, physically, everything you can probably imagine, right? Obviously 20 years is a long time. I started in 2006. And of course it's 2026 now, so I thought I'd do this little video to kind of celebrate that a little bit, but also to kind of like look back on the last 20 years a little bit and talk about what I've experienced and how you, the person watching this, can benefit from that as well, because what's the point in all of these things if you can't benefit from them, alright? So, first thing I'm going to say and mention in this list is how the last thing that you should do is compare yourself. Comparison is the death of motivation, productivity, etc., right? First 10 years of playing guitar, I was very guilty of comparing myself to people that I was going to college with at the time. Obviously famous guitar players, other people that I knew, anyone and everyone I'd be comparing myself to, and that's something that I learned very quickly after 10 years. It took 10 years of hardship and of comparison and of lack of productivity and motivation because of those emotions and because of those things to come out on the other side and really realize that I was just being a little bit silly and that I was killing that productivity and that motivation. Obviously that comes with maturity and things like this, right? So if you're new to guitar playing, which this video is aimed at, try your very best, as hard as it might be and as hard as it might feel, not to compare yourself to your best friend, to the guitar player you've just watched on a video, to people that you go to school with or college with or university with, whoever it may be, whatever situation you're in. As hard as it is, trust me, I truly know how difficult that is, alright? Focus on yourself, focus on your own path, your own journey. Nothing else, no one else matters other than you in this situation and this journey, alright? And I'm just here to tell you that and to remind you of that as well, alright? Number 2 on this list here today is being individual on your instruments. So obviously all of these points are going to sort of piggyback on from each other, right? They're all sort of interconnected a little bit. So what I mean by being individual, again, if I look back at the first 10 years of playing guitar, because that's kind of like when you learn the most and you experience the most, in my experience, when I was 11 to 21. So I was picking guitar for the first time and then fast forwarded to graduating university at 21 as well, alright? What you do a lot of, and it's totally fine, but what you do a lot of early on is emulating people that you hear or see. Again, kind of connected to that last point, you might emulate your favourite band, your favourite guitar player, someone you know, things like that. And you don't have a lot of unique things that you play or do, and it's all just an emulation game, alright? It's totally understandable, it's totally normal, it's part of the process as far as I'm aware and as far as I'm concerned. But the ultimate goal is to get past that, right? You want to sound like you don't want to sound like someone else or anyone else, right? So the goal here is take all these things that you're learning and that you have learned and turn those things into a unique sound for yourself, alright? So a lot of the things that I do and that I play could sound like another guitar player, or it might remind you of another guitar player or something like that. But because I found my own style, my own vision, and my own way of playing things and approaching things, and my own feel and intuition and all these sorts of things, when I play those things, they don't necessarily actually sound like I'm emulating anyone or copying anyone or anything like that. I'm just taking little bits of, oh, I like a little bit of this, I like a little bit of this, I like a little bit of that, and just kind of playing from the soul, playing from the heart, and whatever comes out, and you end up getting a more unique sound to yourself specifically, alright? Number 3 in this list here today is consistency wins over anything and everything every single time, okay? You might have heard like the thing that's been said before about how hard work wins over talent and things like this, right? It's kind of a similar kind of point and a similar kind of thing. If you are consistent with playing guitar every single day, day in, day out, no matter how you're feeling, what's going on in life, what the weather's like outside, you can and will get somewhere with it, and you can and will achieve the things that you want to achieve with it as well. Yes, natural ability, natural talent, whatever, does play a part in there somewhere, right? Some people do feel the guitar easier and more naturally than other people. Some people do learn things naturally and more easier than other people. And that's just a given thing, it's just part of human nature, it's a fact. But consistency wins every single time, no matter what, right? So as long as you play guitar, everyone will say an hour a day, right? An hour a day is great, it's perfect. But what I always say to my students is, a lot of the time an hour a day isn't realistic, right? Especially if you're an adult. If you go to college, university, whatever, right? So it's more the consistency and the quality of that consistency that actually matters and that you should focus on. And what I mean by that is, even if it's 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, but it's every single day, that is going to help and that is going to work way more than a half-assed hour here or a half-assed hour there, alright? So just something worth considering as well. Alright, number 4 on this list here today is going to be always learn to enjoy the learning process, and always enjoy the learning process in general, right? This is something that I always tell my students and kind of preach in lessons and things like that too. And what I mean by that is, this is always going to be a learning process, right? You never stop learning in life in general, in my opinion, but you definitely absolutely 100% don't stop learning on guitar, alright? It's always going to be, it always has been, it always will be a learning process, okay? So it's definitely something worth noting and being careful of. Because if you don't learn to enjoy the learning process, or you don't enjoy the learning process, you're going to lack motivation, you're going to lack productivity, and all the things that I'm talking about in this video and that we're sort of aiming this video towards, right? So every day, just be like, cool, struggle at this thing, but it's fine, we'll work on it, we'll practice it, we'll put the time in, we'll put the repetition in, and then on to the next thing. Cool, I haven't quite got this yet, but we'll work on it, we'll put the practice in, we'll put the repetition in, whatever the case may be, yeah? Just try to enjoy that process of not knowing, enjoy the process of getting better, enjoy the process of exploring all of these avenues of learning guitar and getting better and all of that sort of stuff, alright? And the fifth and final thing in this video here today is going to be reset and redefine your love of guitar and music every few years if you need to, okay? This is something that's been really kind of notable to me after playing guitar for so long. Like I say, 20 years, right? It's a long time. So there's been times where I have kind of fallen out of love with guitar a little bit, or have kind of fallen out of love with music a little bit for one reason or another, right? Obviously life goes up and down, there's lots of personal things that you have to go through and deal with in normal life, right? So every few years, it's kind of, for me, it's been a little bit of a thing of like, right, I'm not really feeling it, and you kind of just sitting there and you dwell in there for like a few months, a year, whatever, and then you've got to kind of claw your way back out of that again and be like, no, right, I started playing guitar for a reason. Why do I love this? Why do I enjoy it? Let me find some things to love and enjoy about this again. So whether that is just kind of keeping it simple and going a little bit like what I had to do, I had to kind of keep it simple and go all the way back to basics and be like, right, I picked up guitar because I love playing songs and I love playing other people's songs and learning parts and things like that, right? That's kind of the first and foremost thing. So then I kind of wiped everything away and went, right, I'm gonna learn X, Y, and Z song, and I'm gonna reset everything and go from there and try to get this motivation back that I once had a number of years ago. Same thing with like songwriting. It was sort of like, right, I love writing songs, I love writing riffs. Let me just focus on that for a while because I get a lot out of that personally, physically and mentally and everything else. So there's different kind of ways you can approach this and different ways you can think about it. But to keep playing guitar and to keep progressing and keep the motivation and determination and everything, it might be a case of every few years or something like that, you do have to just reset a little bit and restructure a little bit and approach things in a new different light, a new different way, find new videos to watch, find new songs to learn, write something new or different, challenge yourself a little bit. All of these sorts of things are things that you can try and things you can do and things that I know from experience definitely help as well, alright? Alright everyone, that is it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. And of course, I'll see you in the next one, alright? Peace.